The first thing you need to do in this assignment is make sure that on every request past the initial login, the user continues to be authenticated. So let's demonstrate how that works. So in this particular app, I've logged in now. And now on all subsequent requests, so like for example, if I make any kind of operation that requests something from the back end, it will first make sure to see whether I'm still authenticated, which means that when I make the request, the cookie will be checked on the back end. And if the cookie doesn't exist, then an error will result. So let me just open DevTools, for example. And if I click on Admin Tools right now and then click Delete, you can see that it's making a request to users, and it actually deleted the user. However, if I go ahead and then delete the actual cookie, so I've deleted it now, and now having deleted the cookie, if I try to delete a user, it should error out. And see what happened there? It did say it returned that the server returned a message saying that it was unsuccessful and that there was an auth error, and then the front end redirected to an error page. So your application needs to do the same thing. So in addition to checking if the user is authenticated on every request to the back end, it also needs to check if the user is authorized. So right down here we have a test teacher API. I'm going to give you this link, but then you have to code the rest of it. And if I log in as an admin here, and then if I try to access the test teacher API, I get an error. And in this case, the teacher's trying to access a courses API, and it says success is false. You get another auth error. However, if I log in as the teacher, this API will actually return something. So let's log in again. I'm logging in as Peter, who is Peter Teacher. This doesn't quite rhyme, but close enough. We're now signed in as teacher. You can see this teacher tools here. If I now request the teacher API, it returns an alert saying the call to courses was successful, and you can see also here the request was returned okay. So in addition to that authentication, being able to authenticate on every request to the back end and authorize every request to the back end when I'm clicking, for example, here, the front end should also be doing some stuff. So notice when I'm logged in as Peter right here, the only tools that are being shown are the teacher tools. Okay, if instead I log out here, and let's actually reseed the DB, and if I log in as Donald, who's a student, notice that the dashboard that is showing now is the student tools and the other tools. And the same thing happens if I logged in as an admin. You see the admin tools, but not the teacher tools or the student tools. So your task is to add so that when someone logs in as a student, like Donald, the student tools will show up. Finally, let's log out again. Gonna log back in. Go to admin tools here. You also have to code, I'm going to give you some of this code, but you also have to code the stuff on the front end which will delete a user, like so, like this Daisy user is now deleted. And also finish creating the functionality that will allow you to edit a user like Donald Duck. So if I change his name and submit, you can see that Donald Duck now has XXX. So that's everything you need to do for this assignment.